everybody? It's Eddie Chair on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So, let's start off with something simple. What's the something simple, Eddie? Wall Street getting rocked by some far-reaching news. Apparently, their Goldman Sachs number one attorney resigns. You can imagine why. Why is that a big deal? She's the number one attorney at Goldman Sachs. Who else does it touch in the financial markets? We already know that I think Bank of America is the one that's got a case pending against them because of different business dealings. So just wondering if it's actually going to affect money coming in, money going out, thought processes, all that good stuff. That's why I think it's important. Wow. It's not a little thing. Who else is getting rocked? TCS shares fell 2.18% to 2,690, I think it's rupee, I don't know. Hitting a 52-week low. Another company that took a hit. HCL Technology stock dropped 9.9%. I'm sorry, just 9%, as the Nifty IT index fell 8% amid concerns over AI-driven automation from Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6. In other words, we outsource a lot of work to India. The world outsources a lot of technology work to India. And right now they're sitting back and wondering, is that going to be a problem? Or is it already a problem? That's what they're thinking right now. So it's all kinds of wow. All kinds of gasps going on across the technology sector in India. I said it was going to be an issue. Right? A lot of people are just saying, oh, AI can't do this. I mean, even some of my guys on my team are like, AI can't do this, AI can't do that. You're right. You're absolutely right. But from a business perspective, AI can do enough. Certain jobs are not going to go. Like I know with my team, I know that AI is not going to replace my developers. It's not going to replace my engineers. It's not. AI can do certain code, but in a lot of cases, AI cannot point us to the right decision. AI is not coming up with, the full complete architecture. AI is not necessarily building you the most robust architecture. Remember, AI is based on human thought. Just saying. My guys think a little bit out of the box. We're doing some really cutting edge stuff. And how we write that code is also cutting edge. And AI isn't suggesting things like that. So because we have cutting edge issues, cutting edge thought processes and how we're implementing things, we have cutting edge problems. We're not getting the answers from AI. We're getting the answers from human beings that are stopping and thinking about how to solve that problem, how to use technology, not necessarily how it was meant to be used. And some people would say, why would you do that? It's because of many factors, including how long we can run that software. How long, meaning, how long can we just do minimal upgrades of that software without having to revamp the complete platform? How modularized is the platform so we can take this out, completely upgrade it, plug it back in, and have it not affect everything else? There are things that, some engineers are capable of doing that AI will never be able to do. That does not mean that AI cannot take away some of the jobs within an engineering space. And HCL, TCS, and the rest of the companies in India, technology companies in India, are starting to feel that pain. They're starting to feel that pain. And it's like, ooh, the same way some of the companies here in the United States are starting to feel the pain. So right now, we're going, good morning. So for me, we're sitting back and we're saying to ourselves, well, big businesses are tackling, AI because they have the money, they have the personnel and everything else. We're speaking with small and medium-sized businesses to say, why don't you outsource that to us? We're based in the United States, so there's always a throat to choke. And and we can help you become more efficient. And it's not because we're wizards at AI, it's because we're wizards at business process. Plain and simple. So that's some news. SEC Chair Paul Atkins testified that the agency may regulate $63.5 billion in prediction markets. May. Should is a will, had better. Those are terms that I would use. You have a couple of Israeli soldiers, or a couple of Israelis, I don't know if they're soldiers, that were using Polymarket to bet on Israeli military maneuvers. What? Yeah. It's betting, people. It's betting with a new name. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying be aware of what it is, because there are a lot of people out there that suffer from that addiction. And so I look at it like this. I think of gambling as being like a drug. Okay. So if gambling is a drug, I'm just looking at questions that are popping up. When I'm looking at a drug, I'll get to you in a moment. It's cocaine, right? Gambling is like cocaine. When I look at prediction markets, I look at prediction markets as if it's crack. Dead serious. So do with that what you will. 21 Shares and BitGo expanded their partnership to enhance crypto ETP services, with BitGo providing custodial and liquidity solutions for them. That's huge. I'm telling you, infrastructure moves are going to be big. Infrastructure doesn't mean, the movement for, value or of value for retail. It's the movement of value for institutional as well. But infrastructure is big. So when I see infrastructure moves like this, I sit back and I go, they're looking at numbers that say we should do this because we're going to make money, because people are going to need blah, blah, blah. That's what I mean. Leverage other people's knowledge, other people's research. Find corroborating information. Act as you wish. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, to Cordell, no, I have none. I haven't done the research. It's been shooting up for sure. They've been having a lot of deals for sure, but I haven't even done the basic tokenomics on it yet. That tell you something? I know it sucks, because I've got the tools at my fingertips. That ought to tell you how busy I am. I'm sorry. And I had said the other day, and to your point, I had said the other day that I should do some research on Canton. I have not found the time. I mean, I want you to think about my schedule. My schedule is, I'm up at 3 a.m. My body says, time for you to get your butt up. Good morning, 305. I get up, I use the bathroom, I get back in bed, I lay there, I think, I'll close my eyes because I'm still resting. I'm not sleeping, but I'm resting. But now my brain is engaged. At 4 a.m., I'm starting to do my research, right? By 4:35, I'm in the shower. Get out the shower, down on my desk, somewhere before 6, right? And that's when I start prepping everything. Sometimes I have enough time to go get my morning coffee or cappuccino. As my friends say, I'm bougie sometimes. It's the one thing I'm bougie about. I forgot my sweetener this morning, and I have to tell you, my cappuccino still tastes really good. So I think I might switch to that. Get the less chemicals in the body. And then I'm prepping for the show. Physically prepping for the show, getting my notes in line, all that stuff, trying to reread things, and then taking notes from friends, from my team, because those are my friends. And then I'm doing the show. And then the rest of the day, I'm looking at code because we're trying to launch things like now. So we ran into a problem with the payment portion of our site, where when you selected your country, because we have to do it internationally now because we're an international community. So when you were selecting your country, it wasn't triggering the cities for, the states or cities for said country. So we fixed that. It's a convenience thing. We could have just as easily said, oh, no, you're just going to type it in. No big deal. It's a convenience thing. And we wanted people to have convenience. We think about convenience to that level. So there was a lot going on there. So I just don't have the time. I have tasked one of my team members to enhance the tool that I built so that I can just type in a ticker symbol, type in whatever ticker symbol it is, stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and it'll come back with tokenomics and then read it to me while I'm working. That's the one thing I didn't do, was take it so that it would read it to me while I was working. That took buying some equipment and all that good stuff. So hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to look at somebody's question and be like, oh, okay, let me put that, maybe let me put that on my list of things that I want to research. Canton made it to my research list, at least because of its movement, because of involvement from contracts and things like that. It caught my attention. That's all I can say, is that it's caught my attention. I do not know who the players are, meaning the actual people behind the project. I don't know what other projects they've worked on. I don't know anything like that. And you know me, I will not make a move unless I have some kind of semblance of what that information is. I take a deeper dive into tokenomics than a lot of other people do. It's not just about the numbers, it's also about the people. So I need to understand that. And also, my other rule, my number one rule is, what is your use case? So there's that. But yeah, thanks a lot for calling me out that I was too lazy to get to that research that I said I was going to get to. Greatly appreciate it. No, really, thanks. El Salvador's Bitcoin reserves fell to 77,560 BTC, about $503.8 million in February, this month. And that's down from about 800 million peak. Now, that's because of a bear market. And they're still showing conviction. I'm just saying, so many people were putting down, El Salvador's move, and I'm sitting here and I'm just going, the future of the world is digital. Nobody wants your SWIFT only, private bank only rails to maneuver their value. They don't trust banks. And I think the banking industry needs, on a global level, needs to understand that people just are not trusting banks. And it's not a phenomenon. It's been like this for a really long time. Banks have always been moving toward, people not trusting them. You ever watch Harry Potter and you see the bank scenes? I'm telling you, people look at banking like that. You make more money than I do. And you don't share with the money that you make. You're pulling profit, but huge profit. Huge profits. I just reported yesterday that Ted Pick is making $45 million. I'm not saying that he's not worth it. I'm just saying, take a look at Ted Pick making $45 million and take a look at the lowest ranking person in that company and how much money they make. And then do the math. Right? That distance, a little bit much maybe. Just saying. So there are things that we consider. There are really things that we consider in a major fashion. Market speculation about a Hong Kong hedge fund distress contributed to Bitcoin plunge from 90 to 60. Yeah, there was a big problem in China. Apparently there was a big hedge fund, and when Bitcoin started dropping, it dropped. And supposedly it also helped to drop Bitcoin because, machinations and all that movement and stuff. Don't know. I haven't been able to find specifically who or anything else like that. But that's kind of interesting news. Anthropic secured $30 billion in Series G funding, valuing it at $380 billion. Now, I want you to pause for a minute. It's valued at $380 billion, right? And they were only hoping for $350 billion in valuation. That company being worth $380 billion, I think in very short order, you'll see it hit $500 billion. Now people are sitting there looking at me crazy and cross-eyed saying, how the hell? They just launched a whole bunch of freaking tools. They just launched a whole bunch of tools that are disrupting markets. I mean, like I said, TCS down. HCL down. It has rocked India's, IT space. You cannot tell me that's not a big deal. That's a huge deal. I'm just scheduling the morning minute, the money minute. Sorry. There you go. Oh man, this is bad. You know what I didn't do? I didn't open up all the screens that were there. All right, so let me do it one step at a time. So when we go over the numbers, I actually have the numbers in front of me because that would be nice. So Coin 360 is one. Don't worry, I have more news. Trust me, there's a lot of news. The fallout from Anthropic is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's not that, it's not that it's going to solve everything, but it's going to take away tasks. Those tasks add up to hours. Don't understand how that works? I get it. I have somebody that's performing, these 5 tasks. They only have 8 tasks as their job, and they perform these 5 tasks that can get taken away by AI. That person is down a lot of work. So now we're stuck with 3 tasks over here. Same thing with this person over here. They're down to 2 tasks. I put those together. I still only have 1 person. I create a new job, a new role. Which means that, I help a lot of people try to revamp their careers, right? On the side. When I first got started in management consulting when I was younger, I used to do a lot of resumes, a lot of career coaching. And one of the things I tell people, I've been saying it for years. You want to know how to get ahead of everybody else? Stop talking about your job title. Stop describing your job title in your resume. And start talking about what your job actually is. And people are like, why? Why would you want to do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because when you think about it from that perspective, you're kind of like, oh, because right now, AI is getting rid of tasks. So you have to be able to show that you're capable of doing certain tasks and not necessarily filling in a checkbox for a job title. Oh, because that's what's going on right now. New jobs with new job titles are popping up because certain tasks are just being taken away. That huge accounting department, yeah, that's not going to be a thing. That huge, law department, legal department, that's not going to be a thing. You know what's going to be a thing? Oh, I don't have to worry about having so many attorneys. I can cut that down to like, if I have a staff of 10, I can probably cut it down to 1. And I can basically run my department with a couple of paralegals, way cheaper than an attorney, and they're the ones that do all the work. Anyway, I can cut that down, have a couple of paralegals, and AI. There are major law firms right now that are saying you can't replace people that actually go to court and fight those battles. No, you can't. But you sure as hell can fight the people that are just sitting in the office comparing contracts. Now law firms are choking on it. If law firms had taken a standpoint, law firms should have taken the hint when a company like Icertis and others started saying, you know what, we can take all your legal documents, we can scan them in, all of your executed legal documents, meaning both sides have executed on it, take that verbiage and make it accessible to everybody. So that way you can create new legal documents, new contracts with things that have already been accepted, things that have already been ironed out, worked out. That cuts the time down real fast. So legal departments, legal teams should have been paying attention to that in a major fashion. That was the first shot across the bow, and that's without AI. I know because I implemented it over at a major medical device company globally. So you take that and you say, oh, man, wait a minute. And now you have AI that can do even more than that. Oh, now you're talking about getting rid of attorneys. Now you're talking about getting rid of legal secretaries and assistants and paralegals. You're talking about completely disrupting the legal industry. You thought it was going to be accounting only. The CEO of Microsoft AI, what's this guy's name? Mustafa Suleyman, warned that within 12 to 18 months, we could see most white collar jobs automated, citing software engineering as a key example. And that's one of the hardest jobs. Amid a $135 billion OpenAI deal extension and debates over AI's economic impact. You're still debating AI's economic impact? And I'm telling you, I'm one of these people that's like, AI can't do everything. AI cannot do everything, but you want to know what? It sure as hell can do a lot. Most people are not leveraging AI the way it should be leveraged. They think that, we took away these tasks and, AI is doing them and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, but you still need security. You still need, these other things on it. Did you just do the task and not everything else that goes along with it? Did you really understand your business processes that are affected by this? Most companies do not. They see that immediate, we can cut staff. Stop approaching it as if we need to do this to cut staff. No, you need to do this to increase capacity. Then you can decide whether or not you want to cut staff. Your end game shouldn't be cutting staff, is what I'm saying. It does change the mindset. It absolutely does change the mindset. What you want to be thinking about is, how can I make my business more efficient? And then I can decide on how I want to leverage my human resources. Because there are humans involved. They do have to put food on the table. And how much money do you need to make before you say, maybe we should be thinking about that? Exactly. That's why I tell people, hey, look, pay attention to these things. It's not easy. It's not easy. Think about these things. But when you have the CEO of Microsoft AI come out and say 12 to 18 months, what is it? Most white collar jobs. He didn't put a percentage on it, but most white collar jobs will be automated. He didn't say it to be mean. I want you to stop and think about this. He didn't say it to be mean. He said it as a matter of freaking fact. Step up your game. Learn the new tools. AI is nothing more than Microsoft Word, Excel. It's just a new tool that you can put in your toolbox. There will be new jobs. Of course, there will be sectors that will be completely decimated. There'll be sectors that will be disrupted. Remember, disruption doesn't mean that they go away necessarily. It also means that they can change drastically. That's why I said, AI is not going to necessarily take away jobs, but it absolutely will take away tasks. Rethink what tasks you're capable of. I have a hodgepodge of a career. One thing remains true. I'm a business process kind of person. So project management kind of stuff, portfolio management, strategic thinking about what a company should be doing, could be doing to make more money, make it more efficient, make it more capable. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do. How did I get there? I've always been one to be thinking about, how can I make more money? How can I leverage? How can I do this? How can I do that? Since I was a kid. My first business, running errands for people in my building. Yeah. Don't give me credit. I can hear a lot of people going, oh, wow. No. There were a lot of kids that were doing that. Yeah, they were DoorDash. They were DoorDashing it before DoorDashing was a thing. And I want you to think about something else. And this is painful. I've been telling people about how, on the golf course where I live, you see less caddies. During the pandemic, you didn't see any, but now you're still seeing less caddies. Why is that? Well, they have robots that follow you around, carry your irons for you. Huh. How long do you think it'll be before that robot will be equipped to tell you the wind and everything else? They'll give you a little earpiece, or they'll send it to your phone, which will say it to you. Because sometimes the caddy will be sitting there looking down the fairway going, oh, huh. And the wind and the trajectory and da-da-da-da, and they tell the person da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And now you're sitting there looking at me like I'm freaking cross-eyed and going, are you kidding me? Like, yeah. They're gonna make that robot that was just there to carry your irons into something more. Next step. Oh, if I put a little chip in your golf ball, you can watch your golf ball. Or I might not even have to. I might be able to pick up your golf ball as it goes and show you a trajectory and kind of tell you and give you a video of what you did right, what you did wrong. Yeah. Keep thinking that things are, like I said, AI is going to disrupt. AI is going to decimate. AI is also going to create. It's going to create opportunities. So you can sit there whining, or you can get up off your butt and do something. I choose to get up off my butt and do something. I don't let my kids sit around crying about stuff. I don't let my team do that either. Or maybe it's my team that doesn't let me do that. I think it's that. I think it's the latter. Aave Labs proposed redirecting all product revenue to the Aave DAO treasury under the Aave Will Win framework following community backlash over December 2025 fee redirection, aiming to commit 100% of earnings and establish a new Aave foundation. Aave is going through it, but it sounds like that community is actually trying to work through it. There have been, and I wanted to call this out because there have been Aave not controls, but Aave's got like 60+% of DeFi space. Anyway, I have seen other projects go through something like this, but not actually get through stuff like this. That's why this is big, because Aave is still doing its thing. And you have a lot of people that are still debating and still fighting for what they believe is the correct way to go. Having a DAO allows you to do that. Decentralization is a powerful thing, and I think that's smart. JP Morgan reported Bitcoin production costs dropped to about $77,000 in 2026 from $90,000, driven by lower miner profitability and U.S. winter storms, with parallels to 2021's 45% difficulty drop after China's mining ban, while remaining optimistic about Bitcoin long-term potential. I didn't hear Jamie Dimon's voice in that. Wow. I know I'm being a prick. I know. He just really ticks me off. I'm sorry. Just really, really does. Market speculation about Hong Kong's hedge fund is having further reach. I mentioned it earlier. It's having further reach. I think that we're still going to see fallout from that. I think it's possible that you could also have smaller firms have gone through the same thing. So I'm waiting to read more about it. I just happened to see something blip across my screen. Let's see. AI tech sell-off erased $1 trillion from U.S. stocks in 2026 as AI-driven rallies cooled. Amazon, Microsoft, and NVIDIA faced losses amid skepticism over AI's financial viability. Here's what I'm thinking this amounts to. If you hear me talk about AI, on one side, I'm very positive, and on the other side, I'm a little negative. The side that I'm very positive about is the technology itself. It's not perfect. It's imperfect. It's wrong most of the time. It's the same calculation that will give you what you think is correct, will also give you what is incorrect. Can you leverage that technology to pull off a lot of different things that can work positively for you or a company? Yes. On the negative side, my thought is there are too many large companies that think that it's going to be everything in the cloud, everything being done by only those companies, by the chosen few. And I don't think that's how AI is going to be implemented. I think AI is going to continue to be implemented in a very, it's kind of funny when I stop and think about it. Wow. In a very crypto kind of way. I think that AI, instead of being run by, better term is controlled by those few companies, I think you're going to see a lot more companies start to implement their own solutions locally as they start to realize that user sovereignty, data sovereignty is more important than speed. I can lose out on something taking a few more seconds because I'm running it locally instead of using one of their big doggone data centers. I think that's the Achilles heel, is putting so much money on a specific way that AI is going to be implemented through these gatekeepers, and that's why those gatekeepers need all of these data centers. I think that's where they fail. I think that's the Achilles heel. So do I think that my team can walk in your door, look at your business processes, and build a scalable internal AI solution for you? Absolutely. Do I think that's the best way to go for certain businesses? Absolutely. I do not want to feed information to an AI that I do not control. And there are very few large organizations that are running their own AI. I know of one for sure, massive international company. And they were like, give you our data? You done lost your damn mind. We will buy a version of what you're doing, and then we'll take it from here. Thank you very much. It's got to be one of the world's largest localized implementations of AI I have ever seen. Because they're that size. And they're like, nah, we're going to control our data. That's how I think it's going to go. So you're going to see small businesses start to pop up and control their own data. In the United States, back in the day, it's similar to when businesses had to create their own electricity. You want to do that business? You have to create your own energy. Have at it. And they did. You're going to see pockets. You're going to see pockets. I'm telling you, that's how it's going to work. That's really how it's going to work. And I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at everything and I'm just going, yeah, you know what? That's not a bad thing. Let's see. I have to open up. No, that's news. Not news. I need to open this up. I'm trying to open up everything so we can go over the news. Just trying to see what's good to open up. Yeah, that one. Bear with me. We're going to get to the numbers in a moment. Definitely that one. And yeah, company earnings is going to be big. I think that's enough for today. It's Friday the 13th. Give me a break. So that's right. We should go over the numbers now. Let me pull this, push that. I've already removed my notes. I know, it's weird. So who do we have reporting today that might be big on our list? Or at least for me, what's big on my list? Moderna is going to be somebody that I'm going to be paying attention to. Advanced Auto Parts is another one. Wendy's is another one. Anybody else am I paying attention to? No. Oh, no. Nakamoto Inc. is another one. Westwood Holdings is another one. Right? I just want to see, what are you doing? How are you doing it? How are you going to accomplish it? All that good stuff. I want to hear how you're implementing AI. Are you implementing AI? What have been the disruptions that AI has caused in your space? I'm listening for things like that. Not just how much money do we expect to make in the coming quarter, blah, 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 blah. Short-term thinking. I'm not looking at that. I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about What kind of speak are you giving me? What kind of language are you giving me about your industry? What kind of language are you giving me about the growth of that industry from a technology perspective, from a logistics perspective, from a revenue generation perspective, not just 3 months, but what are the outside factors that are impacting you, and how are you handling them? See what I mean? DeFi Llama. Let's see. We're stuck at $95 billion in total value locked. Not bad, but kind of just hovering around right there. Not bad. Obviously, I want to be above 100, but you take what you can get. Fear and greed. We were at 5. Now we're back to 9. Still single digits. I mean, I don't know that you're going to tell the difference. Look how far down you are. Looking at this chart, this is what I mean. Look at this. This is just a near-term high. This is a near-term high. It's not the high. If I show you the top of my chart, look how far we have to go to get to that high area. We're all the way down here. We're all the way down here. This is what I mean. That's a precipitous drop. So I'm waiting to see, is this going to continue to go up? No, it's Friday. It's usually a sell-off on a Friday. So do I think that, that's going to be a big deal? Yes, I do. It's sell-off on a Friday. Will things pick up next week? Possibly. There are talks about how, the United States and China are starting to get along. They might extend whatever deal they have on the table. We've cut Taiwan's tariff rate, I think, down to 15% or something like that, 13, 16%. That's a good thing. But is it a big deal? We won't know for a little bit. We have to see how it works, how it actually works out. Looking at the big board, so many things that are in red. But again, I think when I see this, I see everything as being on sale. I see everything as being on sale. Excuse me. So BTC, XRP, Sol, if you're into that kind of thing, Sol under $80. Even I think that's a steal. You know me. Ethereum, BCH, BNB, ADA, XLM, LTC, AVAX, SUI, Doge, SHIB, Link, Uniswap, ZEC, if you're into that kind of thing, HBAR, Hype, XMR, who else? Ton. Who else am I looking at? There's a heck of a lot more, but I'm just trying to see what I'm looking at right now. Leo, if you've done your research and you're into that kind of thing, those are things that I'm looking at. Those are things I'm looking at. Let's go see what this is looking like. Let me just give it a quick refresh. Because when I look at this, for me, it's a quick glance. I just want to know, at the coins that I'm interested in, what's your rhythm? What's your rhythm? That's all I care about. What's your rhythm? Right? Because that's how you're going to be affected by whatever news comes out. Just tell me what your rhythm is. And that's what I get told right here. So I can look down and I can go, okay, XMR has got a beautiful rhythm. I'm going to keep it moving. Chainlink doesn't have a great rhythm, but Chainlink is all over the RWA space. I'm gonna rack and stack Chainlink all day long. Chainlink is under $10. You done lost your mind. I will be all about Chainlink all day long. It might take me some time, but to me, Chainlink is an X kind of, meaning I'm going to have an X factor for that one. Yeah, no, I'm good. I will absolutely buy that. Stellar's another one that's on the move. Litecoin, I don't know why people sleep on Litecoin, but they do. Hedera is another one people sleep on. Are you noticing that PayPal USD has been growing? I'm not saying that you're not going to make money off of that, right? But it is a stable coin that is growing and has grown fast. It's been quietly just jumping up. And now it's in the top 25 freaking coins. Like I said, there's going to come a period of time where the top 10 coins, 7 out of those 10 are going to wind up being stable coins. And eventually, they will surpass Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Just saying. Keep your eyes open, folks. Keep your eyes open. A lot of people count out Avalanche. I don't. When I look at its year to date and I look at its past performance, Avalanche is still a big player in the RWA space. The cool thing about Avalanche is that it's not a single use case player. People use it for different use cases. That's why I like Avalanche so much. Shiba Inu, still a big player in the space. Like, wow. When people go, oh, it's dying, it's this, it's that, it's the other, wah, 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 wah. Here you go. Here you go. Now, take these, go off in the corner, and shut up. Shiba Inu has been making moves. Shiba Inu is going to be here for a minute. I like what it's doing. I like where it's going. And if you look at that year to date is better than most. I'm just saying. So when I look at Shiba Inu, I'm just like, people, you got to do your math, please. Please understand the rhythm of a coin. It's not that painful. It's not that new. Just do what you're supposed to do. Sui is another one that I like. Who is up? Gold, obviously, duh. That's about it. Let me see. Let's just see who's on the losers list. Okay, go down to the losers list, and I stop right about there. Let's see. Anybody I care about? Aerodrome Finance down 5.75% with a GMB X factor of 7.01. Somebody asked me about Canton, right, Cordella? So you've got Canton at down 7.35%. It's been moving up the charts in the top 20. It's got a GMB X factor of 0.23. I called it out for the past few days, and I'm telling you, Canton's on the move. I have not done the research. I have not, but I am paying attention to a project that has been bumping up really fast. It's got a low GMBX factor, which means it's close to its all-time high, which means it's been bumping up a lot really quickly over the past little while. Is this a time where I could get in and see myself making some money? It could be. Down 7.35%, that could be a serious opportunity. Barachain is down 24.87% with a GMBX factor of 21.77. They were in the news a couple of days ago. Am I paying attention to that? I think not. Let's see. Anybody on this side of the house? Helium is an old name. I really don't care about it anymore. Haven't owned a Helium in years. Who else is on this list? That's it. Everybody else is moving sideways. You saw so at the middle list on the loser side, middle list on the winner side. Everybody's just kind of moving sideways. Pay attention to that. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, smash the likes, go over to growmybag.tv and catch the rest of the articles that I've written about. Catch the Money Minute, because that will be coming out, I think, about probably like 10:30. We're here and we're growing. This is a happy, slappy community. Dead serious. We help each other. We rag on each other. But the one thing that you can guarantee, we all care about growing our bags. And we all care about sharing information that can help others grow their bags. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. Me and my team will work for that every day. Everybody have a good one. I'll see you tonight on Friday Flips. Maybe. I'm going to a meeting tonight. It's a big meeting. I don't know if I'll be able to do Friday Flips. I might be able to. In any event, the news will be on the site. Anyway, everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.